December 29th, 1963. The town is Chicago. The two best football teams in the world meet in a deadline to glory.
That was the first game I ever went to. My uncles couldn't have picked a better game for me to go to.
No one has played middle linebacker better than Dick Butkus.
In my opinion, the greatest defensive football player that ever lived. Gale Sayers once asked me who was better, me or Peyton. I said, if I need one game, I want you. If I need a season, I'll take Walter. He says, that sounds fair. Changed the whole culture of the Chicago Bears. Enjoyed working with the guy, enjoyed being friends with the guy, and he's a legend.
You're 100% right, but you're a pain in the butt.
I actually cried when they won the Super Bowl. I couldn't believe it.
I just have one thing to say. We all have bragging rights over the whole goddamn country.
Lovie Smith was a heck of a coach. I was not a Lovie Smith fan, but he made me a Lovie Smith fan. Matt Nagy sabotaged his career. Him and Trubisky had something good going. They'd made the playoffs twice in 4 years. He took his career, threw it in a dumpster, and now he's getting coffee for Andy Reid. I like the Bears for third place this year, but surprise us. 5 to 6 teams a year that make the playoffs are new teams that didn't make it the year before. Hopefully they'll be one of them.
Welcome, everyone, to a fresh edition of the Mike North Advantage. My name is Aldo Gandia, and the star of the show is here. His name is Mike North. How are you, my friend?
Look what we got. Look what we got. Rawr. Meow. Meow.
Yeah, I thought I'd wear it one last time.
Oh, I love it, baby. Well, I got a whole dresser full. I mean, where am I going? I mean, I can't, I put a lot of money. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars I've been, well, really not that much, but money that I invested over the years, Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, other people gave to you, the bear shirts from the time you're 8 years old, 9 years old, you're going to wear this. And just think, little Mikey, you're going to have this on and you're going to see one Super Bowl win in your lifetime. Won't it be
Jeez.
But before we get to that type of thing, we talk jewelry. Rahl
Can
Jewelers,
we? That'd be awesome.
Oh, Rahl Jewelers. It's there for you. Rahl Jewelers, if it had a song, it wouldn't sound like this. But anyway, Rahl Jewelers located at 3001 Barrington Road at Hoffman Estates. A great gift, Christmas, New Year's. Hanukkah and Christmas ending up the same year. They end up on the same year every year, but on the same day. We used to have our own thing, but everybody wants to jump in on each other now. Hanukkah and Christmas on the same day, So there's a lot of people going to be celebrating wonderful things all together for a change. A lot of times things are split up and everything else. Everybody's got something in common there, and you want some gifts, you go to Rahl Jewelers right there in Hoffman Estates on Barrington Road, where you can see the sparkles literally from miles away. It's just so good. Look at Brad, Ryan, Rahl Jewelers. Wow.
847-765-3000. Give them a call.
Give them a call. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bears lost again yesterday. I don't think that's any new news to anybody. Caleb Williams is going to be okay. Jaden Daniels right now is the best quarterback, but Caleb Williams, the troubling part about Caleb Williams is the way he's doing it is he can't do anything when the chips are on the line. When they take the foot off the pedal in the second half, there's no way they're telling their team, the other coaches, hey, we're up by 20, play 100% and try to get hurt. No, they're playing a little bit off, but still Caleb Williams comes back. What's going on in the first half, I don't know, but he's a stat stuffer right now. And that's what, we can call him because he's only got 4 wins and the team's only got 4 wins, but it's not his fault. His stats stand up there right now with Jaden Daniels, who is the rookie of the year probably right now, if you want to know the truth about it. I mean, he's hitting 70% right now. People ask me, do you prepare? That's proof. I had no idea. 70% from a completion percentage, 3,300 yards from scrimmage, 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, another come from behind win, last second win, which makes people superstars. Does that yesterday. Bo Nix had a good game this week. Michael Penix came out and got his first start, no touchdowns, 1 interception. But Caleb Williams, it's not that he's playing badly. It's when he's playing badly. And that's in the first half. And that's the whole team. And the defense is deplorable. I mean, Jalen Johnson, I'm going to tell everybody right now, if I took over the Bears tomorrow, he'd be off the team. I'd get rid of him. They come a dime a dozen. You're going to give that guy got a $20 million signing bonus and a $19 million a year salary, and he doesn't want to tackle anybody. Doesn't want to tackle anybody. Doesn't want to play hard. You made $39 million the last couple of years. And what are you trying to do? Make sure you last the whole contract? Or do you even want to play anymore? You're an embarrassment to the Chicago Bears. I can say this with due pride. Every Bear team that I followed my whole life played their asses off. This is a team that doesn't. The defense is depleted. No defensive line at all. General manager's fault. The linebackers play okay. They're playing okay. The secondary, 3 top tacklers are the secondary guys yesterday. Think about that. Out of the whole team. Jalen Johnson, in his defense, I know I'm getting soft, aren't I? Ready to take get the lasso ready, and all of a sudden I'm going, no. Here's the thing: Jalen Johnson's only 195 pounds, and they have to make tackles downfield. And sooner or later, if you're a defensive back, you got to stand up and have a spine, or you regress and you turn into just an ordinary player. You let them beat you, and that's what Jalen Johnson's doing. Not giving 100%. And he's not going to, nobody's going to give him any accountability. He's the guy that shot his mouth off for 15 minutes on Eberflus, and right now they miss him on the defensive end of the football. And they miss him as the head coach. It looks like maybe they should have waited to the end of the year, regardless of how the games were ending. We were in the games. And if they would have knocked that ball down in Washington, he would have never been fired to begin with, because maybe things turn out differently after that. The defensive line, 1 to 10 is a 2. 2 being low, not being high. The offensive line, you're not winning with either one. We're 5 years away, folks. We are 5 years away. Believe me when I tell you, the Chicago Bears are the oldest team in the division. Now, it's apples and oranges. You have basically the Detroit Lions. You have Green Bay, and you have Minnesota, all 25, 24 and a half, 25, 25 and a half years old. You have the Bears almost 27, 26.9. And a lot of that's bringing in veterans because you couldn't build polls. He's 14 and 35 right now? You can't let him back. You can't bring him back. I'm not saying you have to get rid of him. That's not my job. I'll tell you, if it was my job, he'd be gone. I would have never hired him, though. Never. Not for a number 2 market team. And not on anybody else's recommendation. I would have done it myself. I would have done my due diligence, had some people around me that I trust. I wouldn't have called another team's executive and said, find me someone. And then that executive, Bill Polian, brings in 2 of his executives. One a coach and one a general manager. You see where I'm going? This whole thing's been screwed up from the beginning. No lines, average linebackers. Your secondary right now. Yesterday, I know. You're stunned. I got all this stuff in my head. I don't even have to look. I read it once because when you're last, you remember that.
Yes, true.
Our secondary is last yesterday in the NFL. And they're like 19th or 20th. That wasn't the plan. And they miss Eberflus. Eric Washington, I never want to see him again after this year. Ever. Ever. They're out there with no rhyme or reason. They don't know why they're in the position that they're putting you in. There's no philosophy. Just line up. What are you doing during practice? What are you doing? And I hope everybody learned a valuable lesson about the Thomas Brown situation that wanted him as head coach. Thank God they made him an interim coach. So we could see that he's got no gas. None. He stands on the sideline, calls plays like he's playing Stratomatic football, and then watches them fail. And then things get loose in the second half, but you got to start from the beginning of the game. And that goes for the whole football team. Caleb Williams is going to have a very valuable rookie experience. I expect him to get better, but until they get him some people, I mean, the running backs are horrible now. The running backs are, and I'll be reading the tweets in the next segment that have been put out by me, put out by Aldo, and put out by a lot of our great listeners. But I'm disgusted with the whole thing. And it hasn't worked. Whatever they wanted to do after 2020, it has not worked. And I didn't want anything to happen in 2020. I wanted to stay where we are. That's over with 6 years ago. But they created this mess. Unprecedented in 2020. You get rid of players when you go to the playoffs. Unprecedented. And when you've made it 2 of the last 3 years. And you get rid of your winning quarterback. Unprecedented. So they wanted to go in a different direction. For whatever reason, there's speculation all over as to why. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is because they don't know what their plan is. Poles had no plan except to talk tough at the dais, the day that he was presented to the press. We're never going to give up we're never going to give up the North and never give it up. Wait. Let me read my goals again. You're with Chris Spielman at Detroit. You're with Mark Murphy at Green Bay. You're with maybe the coach of the year in Minnesota. You have buried this franchise. And the McCaskies have buried this franchise. This is as bad as it gets. And there's other teams in the same. Take a look at the front offices of all the teams right now, folks. Take a look. New York Jets. Unbelievable. Front office is a shambles. They threw that game yesterday. I had the Jets +3. They should have kicked a field goal with 14 minutes left in the fourth. They go for it on 4th and 5 from the 35 and don't make it. They then there's guys open all over, and Rodgers throws to double teams. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. Then you got the Cleveland Browns, the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's as many, in fact, average, mediocre, and bad teams combined than there is good teams in the National Football League. And, we weren't on last Monday. We were on, but we were on before the game, and we were 2-2. So I'm 17-12. We're going to have a winning Monday night record here on what I call affectionately the show that I actually do prepare for, the Mike Advantage. And I'll tell you why. It's really because you got to prepare, because people are seeing things I'm not seeing again. I watched the Bears on TV. Huh? No, we're a mess. We're the Detroit Lions of the 80s. We're the Detroit Lions of 2000. We are not going to be around for a while. Those other 3 teams are far superior. They have better offensive lines and better quarterbacks. Jordan Love, Sam Darnold right now with a nod to Kevin O'Connell. My God, what a coach he's turned out to be at Minnesota. They won 13 games, the Minnesota Vikings. 13. Mm-hmm. My God, with Sam Darnold. And all I heard is we had the best team a rookie could have on offense. But you need lines. How do you ignore the trenches? How in the draft did you ignore the trenches if you're any kind of builder of a football team? I'd been saying all along, grab a receiver if you want, because I wanted Marvin Harrison. Okay? I was doing Jay's okay. Fumbles killed us yesterday, kid. Fumbles killed us. I wanted Marvin Harrison. I knew they were going to take Caleb. Then I said, take one of the other quarterbacks down the line, but who knows what we would have gotten. They didn't want to go that way. But then I said after that, take an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman every single round. Now, they took the punter, and that's another thing. The Bears do this. Caleb Williams tell him, you're hardly ever going to punt. That kid, he might have to go into rehab. He's punted so much. I mean, so all the nonsense, all the talk, all the stuff going back to Nagy, the disco ball. I want to see coaches in the locker room, not with a disco ball when they happen to win a football game or surprise, or like Thomas Brown when we finally scored a touchdown. He went, yeah, like we won the Super Bowl. And the players that yap. And Jalen Johnson, you can leave the team. I don't want you on our team. That's 2 weeks in a row you're half-assing it. You're getting paid 40. You got paid 20 million up front and 19 million, and you got that product. What is it with the Bears? I saw Eddie Jackson the same way. Why do we take secondary guys and throw them the bag? Why? You pay money to quarterbacks. Those guys are not like Revis. Darrell Revis was. They're not like Jalen Ramsey was. And we're throwing the bag at them like they are. And where's Eddie? Where is Eddie Jackson? He was missing in action after he got the bag. And this kid, Jalen Johnson, is a big mouth now, a trouble in the locker room, beat up Eberflus, who they could use back, but the Bears were forced to really get rid of him. And he's making all that money. And guess what? You're finally exposed because your secondary's the worst in football. And I don't want a guy on any team I'm on, radio team, working at my fast food places. Okay? All the businesses me and BB have owned. You better work. And if you worked with me in radio, you better work. You better come to play. And Eldo knows I'm kidding about when I've been preparing my whole life for this, to do radio. I was built for this, but I put effort into it. When I played sports, I never gave less than 100%. And when you see a professional football player giving 50%, or less, the end zone, he just lets them walk in. I mean, my God. And everybody's tiptoeing. I don't tiptoe. I don't care. That's what happens, see? I did so damn well. Now I don't care. I can call these teams out for what they are. The Chicago Bears are a mess, and I don't care. You can talk about Caleb all you want. I remember going to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. With Rex Grossman, we had a team. Oh, Caleb did good even though we're losing. We've lost 8-9 in a row. I've said to Eldo for 5 years, I didn't care if a quarterback goes 1 for 5 for 2 yards if we win 3-0 every game. And that's escaped this fan base. The dummies out there, the Meatball Island guys, the ball washers, the Kool-Aid drinkers, I introduced them all. I've known you for decades. Thomas Brown. You see the coaches out there that we could get, and you wanted Thomas Brown. Over Ben Johnson, you wanted him. Everybody wants Ben Johnson now. Thank God Thomas Brown lost. Because you think like the owners. You've been conditioned to think like the owners, just like the Cubs. Well, I'm doing pretty good right now, Eldo. I still got plenty in the game.
You still do, no doubt.
I mean, I'm just saying. Ryan Tucker. Okay, we got this guy Tucker. Whoa, that's good. We got rid of him. No, you keep both. You You don't get rid of one because that makes the other guy not as good. Who pitched to Bellinger last year with Suzuki and Happ around? And he still hits 18 homers. He was injured, has 517 at bats. All of a sudden, you know what I hear? Once they get rid of him, well, we had to get rid of him because we got young guys. How stupid are we in this town? Do you know where we are as a baseball, football, basketball, hockey town? Do you know where we are?
Last place.
I mean, seriously. Bellinger's a warrior, man. He played hurt half the year last year, and you want to throw him away. But we can pay a manager $40 million. But we can't pay Bellinger, who's going to bat. I love this. The Cub goes, well, Cub fans, well, he'd be a platoon player with us. No. He's going to bat in Babe Ruth's spot, and he's playing center. They're moving Judge over. Judge played great in center. They said, we got somebody better. I don't know if he can make the Cub team, though. He's going to play for the World Series New York Yankees, and he's going to hit a ton because he's going to have Judge and Stanton around him, not Happ and Suzuki, you guys. Do I have to hold school every week? My God. What has happened, everybody? Individual accomplishment will never, ever trump winning. Winning. I don't care what Caleb Williams did. I don't care how many tackles a guy has. I just we got to report. We lost. And I'll give you one better. We were a better football team with Justin Field last year. Now, if you want to deny that, you go all night long like Lionel Richie, because I can go all night long back at you. You know where we are in rushing this year? Aldo, do you know where we are in rushing this year?
Rushing the ball on offense, we're probably 31st out of 32 teams.
Right? First of all, I don't know why I'm looking that way, like you're actually in the room. Okay?
Yeah, look the other way.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. That's close.
We're like 25th or 26th. You know where we were last year with Justin Fields? Second. We were the number 2 rushing football team in America. And you know what? That could have been the winning combination because we had 7 wins last year. We had a quarterback that, is inaccurate. Well, what do we have here? He misses passes all night long, too. Bottom line is, it worked with Fields. It worked. Second in rushing compared to 24th and 25th. And we were better defensively last year because guess what? People are going, he's got more. He's got, what is he? What is it, 92 again? 94? 95? No, it's 2024. That's right. That's right. There's a few of us left that still know the God blessed game. Time of possession. We had the ball last year for 32 minutes. We have it for 29 this year. 3 minutes makes a big difference. That's a couple drives, maybe. That's at least one drive. So we're a mess. We're not going anywhere. I think the president of the team is a complete goof. The stadium thing has been messed up. We're going to let him pick again. Then you got Poles, who's 14 and 35. Then you got Miss McCaskey. Okay, George. Okay, they showed a picture of him. Okay. BB goes, who's that? I go, Captain Kangaroo's making an appearance at the Hawk game tonight. I didn't even know who the hell it was. I thought it was Bob frickin' Keeshan, for God's sake. See, Aldo and I, we had a talk a couple of weeks ago. I said, Aldo, we're going to have fun with this show because, and that's exactly what we've been having. I'll give you the lowdown. I'll give you the skinny because I'll tell you the truth because you're hearing a whole different ball game all over. Caleb Williams is good. Well, so is Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penny. They're all good. It's around you. Jaden Daniels did not have the offense, supposedly, that Caleb's got. He's a special player. I watched him yesterday. 5 touchdowns. He threw two interceptions. That's okay. Caleb doesn't think he needs to throw interceptions, which is fine. I don't want him turning the ball over. But if you fumble twice, what's the sense? Well, And Jonathan, well, we'll get to the TV in a second here because we're getting to our TV section shortly. But sure, Aldo, you got some questions and stuff like that.
Well, I'd like for you to comment on some of the thoughts and questions. Brosky Bear says, I'm hoping they sell the team to Elon Musk. Can you imagine how insane the new stadium would be? It needs to be in Arlington Heights. End the story. Do you endorse
I'm
that?
Make everybody ill and make it ill all you want. I want Donald Trump to buy the Bears because we'll have a brand new stadium. We'll be at Arlington Heights. It will be bigger and better than ever. Okay, he'll ring the first, he'll come out in the bear suit probably, so I don't care who buys it. We can't go with this ownership much longer. I've been with this ownership all my life. George Halas, since I was born, he was the owner, and it's the same family, and we just don't have enough to lean on. We don't have anything. They're out of control. They have too many different interests, except winning football games. I don't even like the messages on the back of the helmets anymore. Stop the hate. Nobody hates anybody. I don't hate anybody. Quit telling me to stop the hate. Put Bears on the back of the helmet. I don't hate anybody. Stop racism. I'm not racist. I love everybody. I love the Bears. 75% of that team's black. If they won a game, I might jump up into the round, for Christ's sake, okay? We might do Hug a Black Day again like we did back in the 90s. Well, stop the messages on the back. Just put Bears like they do. Just put Bears. There's other teams that are doing that. Yeah, make the Bears great again. That's it. MBGA. That doesn't sound good. But anyway,
I got more for you.
Al.
Okay. Quinn wants to know or has this opinion. I'd love for you to comment on it. He says John Gruden would have this Bears team playing their asses off. You agree?
I have a better chance of being hired. I don't know if you've seen the emails, but that's not the right front office to be having those emails at.
That's for sure.
Maybe he could come by me. Jerry Jones. He could come by me. Did I tell you? I don't even know. We don't even have a DEI department. Oh,
that is so true.
Right?
Yeah. A bunch
they
of
would never hire John Gruden. If
No.
they hire John, and I'm glad he's with Barstool, I'm glad he's busy, but those emails were awfully damaging. He had a great deal. And let's not forget, Mike Mayock and John did not do well together. I mean, I heard, this is what kills the TV industry. We'll get into the next segment in a minute. But I'll tell you what's killed the TV industry more than anything is ex-jocks. And Howard Cosell said it best. He says, if you put ex-jocks in the booth, they're going to have favorable opinions, more or less. It's going to ruin the product because you're going to be favoring that fraternity because you played or coached in that fraternity. Even Madden. Madden never really took a shot at anybody, but he knew how to take a shot at anybody. Well, you got to wonder what he was thinking there, Pat. Stuff like that. But you don't take shots at people. But I'll give you a perfect example as soon as Troy Aikman last week. Around the second quarter, Aldo, I'm trying to remember. From the second quarter into the third quarter, slowly baked Caleb Williams. Had him on the rotisserie. He's slow, getting rid of the ball. He can't make his progressions. This is all. He takes too many sacks. Come on, you got to throw the ball. I don't know why he giggles after he makes a comment all the time. You can't take that. Can't take that sack, Joe. And he was making. And then around the fourth quarter, what do I hear? Well, it seems like we've been talking too much, Troy. Now, for most people out there, that's just an innocent statement. For Mike North, that's ding, which means, and Aldo knows this in the TV business, somebody made a call. Because all of a sudden, Ryan Post went from 14-34 to 34-14 as the general manager. I'll tell you what, he's going back. Yeah, he's going to come back next year as well. And Caleb Williams has all the ability and all of the opportunity to succeed. And I'm listening to Troy Aikman. I go, they told you to start talking favorably. They did a complete about face. And fine, that's fine. But I just see that there's a lot of promotion of the quarterback in the NFL, of all of them, because they all got to improve. and they're all playing their college game. And by the way, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, other guys taking snaps under center. Caleb took more snaps out of the shotgun yesterday than he did under center. Only did that a few times. I'd like to see that improve.
Got a couple more here for you to
I
react
love when
to.
you tell me that because we got interest.
Well, I got a lot of them, but we could stay the whole show answering all these questions. But I'm going to pick these two. Keith says we could bring in Bill Belichick and whatever quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end you want until the McCaskies are gone. Every Mike North Advantage episode will be another Groundhog Day.
I'm doing 30 years of it. For 4 hours a day for the first 16, 17 years. Right at 1 o'clock hour, we're still talking about how Matt Forte fumbled the ball, or Brock Forte needs to start for it. Remember that one? Brock Forte had 162 yards in one game, and Weinstein said the next day, instead of praising, goes, let's not put him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, my God. It's just been a clown show. Jake LaMotta said it best at the kitchen table with his son. After Joey LaMotta told his wife to take the baby, it stinks. Okay. He said something to him, and then Jake goes, what am I, in a carnival here? That's what following the Bears has been. What am I, in a circus here? You win, you still win. You lose, you still win. We never win. We still lose. We win, we still lose. That's how it is.
One more here from Mick. He says, well, we didn't go to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. We went to the Super Bowl with the defense and Devin Hester. Rex did nothing.
Let me tell you something, Mick. Let me tell you something. He got an NFC championship ring as the first string quarterback of the Bears. And that guy, I'll tell you what, I remember he bought me his football pants in to auction off at one of our marathons. And they had to be this big. I mean, he was so little. He was 5'10". He's a little chubby now. I've seen him lately. Put on a little bit of weight. But he had to be 5'10" and 185 pounds. I give him all the credit in the world. He didn't make a lot of bad mistakes, and they dueled Indianapolis. And sure, the defense got him there. But he didn't. He did what he had to do. He only I think threw for 52%. I mean, it's free. And what did we do there? What? Put that guy back up there. What's his name?
Mick Foley.
Mick, we got to the Super Bowl with the coach that we fired after they went 10-6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about that? We were 10-6. Forget about Ditka. Lovie Smith was 10-6. He had to convince me he could coach. He did. All of a sudden we're 10-6. I'm going, yeah, 5 more years, and they go, he's fired. What? He's with Tampa Bay, huh? You know what I mean? Unbelievable. We fired. We broke up to a playoff team, and we fired a 10-6 coach. All in my lifetime. Seriously.
Only the Chicago Bears.
Yes, sir.
All right. Our next segment is called
Say what?
Well, I leaked some of it out because Troy Aikman was just unbelievably bad
That
last
was
week.
good, Mike. You are so right about Troy Aikman. He is sickening to my ears.
Oh, my God. I could not believe, and I'll go over it one more time.
Please.
Second quarter, I go, B. He was in the other. You got to listen. This is the first guy I've heard actually score a Bear quarterback in like years. They give Justin Fields, the nice treatment and everything else. I'll tell you what, you don't have to take these sacks. Tom Brady never took a sack. He just got rid of the ball. And then he says, I'll tell you another thing, Joe. His progressions. He holds on to the ball too long, and look at the dudes here. He's wide open. He's wide open there, Joe. He just misses him, So this is going on for 10 minutes, and I'm saying to myself, if you're in the business, you might catch this. If you're not, I'm talking about what's coming up. So every time he was out there, and he'd be late with a throw or something. I think Keenan Allen, who, by the way, played a hell of a football game yesterday, Keenan Allen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, he was open, but he made the turn, Joe. He didn't throw it to him, So, the giggling just drives me nuts. It's called a crutch. If you drink every time he giggles, you're going to be hammered by halftime, okay? About nothing that's funny. And then around the fourth quarter, well, because Joe was. I told him this on the air, and he didn't appreciate it. But I told him he was a charter member of the Lucky Sperm Club. Okay, being Jack's son. Yeah, he didn't appreciate that too much. But anyway, yeah. But I got to give him credit. He's become a very accomplished announcer. But when he first started, we used to do this for you. You know what I mean?
He was awful. Yeah,
he was. But he's really gotten better. And I hear Joe Buck say, "Well, Troy, it seems like because they were trying to fill time because it was a slow-moving football game.
It really was. Yes.
I saw they go. So these guys between them, these two jokers make $33 million, and they're getting tired because they have to fill 5 minutes of time. This is what I'm hearing. Okay, all right, and they go, well, maybe we've talked too much. So I'm saying to myself, okay, maybe they're jibber jabbering too much, and maybe the producer said, cool it down a little bit. The game's moving slow. But then all of a sudden I hear, well, there's no doubt in my mind that Rob Poland's going to be back. 14-34, but he's going to be back as a general manager next year. And I'll tell you what, Joe, Caleb Williams has all the ability, and he's able to take a hit, and he just he's got a zip on his arm, which is so good. And I said they got a phone call. Now, after all your years of experience and me explaining that, and you being in TV and you being in major production. We know this has happened because people have called on me at radio stations, a couple thousand times.
Yeah.
And people have called TV stations. Do you think they got a call? And do you think they got a call from somebody that might be associated with the football team? Or do you think they were taking heat from Bear fans saying, get off his ass? I don't think they'd listen to the fans unless they were getting some texts.
I'm going to guess that it was a producer who reminded him, hey, the record is 15-35 for Ryan Poles. So you may want to pump the brakes on the accolades.
Yeah. It was just a nauseating sit through that made it hard for me to sit through that game. Yeah. It made it hard. And I didn't want to forget that because we were on Monday before the game. We would have really had some fun with them. But I give them all the credit. I mean, they did dress it up. He threw a lot of sugar. Yesterday, the 30-30 of the Chicago Bears was on to tell you how far off we are. And
the 85 Bears one?
Yeah, 30-30 was on this morning. I shouldn't say yesterday. I was up at 3:00 watching it. Okay. Oh yeah, I got up at 2:30 today. I got to get ready for the show.
I went to bed at 2:30.
I used to go out at 2:30, but that's beside the point. But I nap. I nap during the day. The nap is a senior citizen's best friend. I don't really like that term, senior citizen. I want to change it. I'm going to write the president. He might answer me. Admiral citizen. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
General citizen. 5-star. If you're 100, you're a 5-star citizen. If you're 94-star, as we go on. Okay. So right now, I'd be a 2-star citizen because I'm 70. You got to hit past 65. I see they have this 55. It's all game. When I was 55, I never got tired. But they have you as a senior citizen, even in our own place we live here now. Expand the tent a little bit. But I was not. I don't consider myself a senior citizen. Look at Pete Carroll. I would take Pete Carroll right now for 3 years. 3 years at 73 years of age. He could straighten this team out at least and get somebody else to come in and then take over once it's straightened out. You need some guy with administrative skills. And would he leave an advisory position with Seattle to be head coach of the Bears for 3 years? I don't know. How much power are you going to get? You're not allowed to do anything. Are they going to have to keep some of these coaches? We'll see what happens there. Because I don't know, Aldo. I think if you're forced to keep going, I don't think Ben Johnson's coming here, folks. I think there's other jobs that are better than this. I think there's better stadiums. Okay. I think there's better facilities at most of the other stadiums. I think that Ben Johnson is going to ask for $10 million, between 10 and 12 million. There was a rumor 15. Maybe that was true. It didn't get out there by accident. The Bears will never pay that. Look for Chico Rivera, Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Brady. Look for Joe Brady.
Love him.
Yeah. Look for some play. I want to see a guy. I want the head coach of the Bears to hold the menu in front of his face. Give me an order of pancakes. Because Andy Reid orders from Denny's. Give me an order of pancakes, sausage links, not patties, bacon. Yeah. Oh, and melt some cheese over it. And double screen right, 33 on 2. I'm tired of, you know what our guy does? Our guy goes, what play we calling next? The guy was upstairs. What are we doing now? What? All right. And then the play wouldn't work and Everflus would be like this on the side. Frozen. Like, what happened? Are we supposed to call timeout now? I mean, most of it right here. Tom Brown was up there.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, God. Anyway, we got some tweets here, too, guys.
Also, before you do that,
I like doing stuff beforehand.
You mentioned Ben Johnson, the more attractive job. So do you think the New York Jets head coaching job is more attractive than the Bears job?
Yes.
With no quarterback? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there. You can't.
What Aaron Rodgers' year is? Look up his stats.
But it doesn't matter. His disruptive nature on the team. People hate him.
I agree. But he's still owed another $50 million. And you know what? Look at his year, Aldo. I couldn't believe his year. He's got like 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's got a 90-some rating. I mean, you know what? He's the least of their problems. I don't know who do you go to if you get rid of Aaron Rodgers. That's the thing, see?
Yeah, you got to draft a quarterback. Which
now you're going through the same stuff. They're going through, and you know what? They don't have enough players around them either. But
what about the Saints job? Do you think that's a better job? With David Carr as their quarterback?
No, boy, I'll tell you. We're really, any job that's out there isn't a good job right now.
You're right about that.
Nobody's going, hey, listen, would you like the Kansas City job? That ain't happening. Nobody goes, hey, nobody said Darren Brady's joke. I'm tired. I quit. Belichick was that. As long as Brady was, and by the way, I have an argument here. I'm tired of hearing that Belichick was the greatest coach of all time. I don't know about that.
I agree.
What are you, people out of your mind? He lost Tom Brady. He went to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay used to play with their dicks in their hands. They couldn't get out of their own way, and then they win a Super Bowl. and in the meantime, Belichick is all over the board. He knew nobody wanted him. Okay, and I got to be honest with everybody. I really do. I think that Vince Lombardi's the best coach that ever coached the game of professional football because he took over the same team. He didn't have free agents. He couldn't bring in a Randy Moss.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't bring in players to come in and help out. I mean, I remember who played running back for them. He was from the Bengals. Corey something, right? He was a good player.
Corey Dillon.
Hey, let's get Corey Dillon. I mean, you know what Lombardi said? You guys are 1-13 in 1959. In fact, why don't you put Lombardi's record up there for a minute there, Aldo?
Vince Lombardi.
Our coaching record. Because I'm tired of hearing after Belichick lost Brady, he coached like Trutzman. I mean, my God. Right?
Yes, that's true.
What? He's the greatest coach of all time. Coach, you're the greatest coach of all time. I don't think so. I think there's other coaches that were as good as him.
I agree. Well, I'll tell you what. This is the record for Vince Lombardi: 94 wins, 34 losses, and 6 ties.
96, 34, and 6. How you like me now? And I took over a team. Here, I'll look up this thing right now because this drives me nuts when I hear that this Belichick is the best guy in football. Vince Lombardi. Okay, first of all, Vince Lombardi told the 1959 team that was 1-13. Next year we're coming back, and if we don't win, I'm going to kill half of you. Okay, it was a different time back then. Okay, because it just was a different time. That kind of coach, and guys like being coached like that, and you can't say it didn't work.
Right.
You can't say, "Oh, he was too mean." Cut it out. Who was that guy? Cut it out. Who was that?
Yeah, I remember that guy. He used to wear like a red jacket.
Oh, Joe Besser. Cut it out, Mo. Cut it out.
Oh, the Stew.
I had odd feelings about him as a child. I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I agree.
I was sort of, alerted. Okay, listen to this. In 1959, he takes over this team. That was like 1-13 or 1-11. They go 7-5 in 59, the same team, because you were stuck with Bart Starr. You're stuck with all these supposedly bad football teams. In 60, 8-4, first place, NFL West. 61, 11-3, same team, NFL West. 62, 13-1, the same team. Okay. Then in 63, he goes 11-2. 64, 8-5. And they said, Vince, you might have lost it. He goes, yeah, you're right. So then the next year in 65, he goes 10-3, wins the NFL championship. 66, 12-2, wins the NFL championship and Super Bowl I. 67, 9-4, wins the NFL championship. In those 3 years, he went 7-0 in the playoffs, folks.
Wow.
So let's ease up on Belichick just a little.
Yeah, I agree.
He was horrible, Curly Joe.
Curly Joe was horrible. All right, so let me give you a list of names here who have a better winning percentage than Bill Belichick.
Right.
John Madden, Vince Lombardi, George Allen,
Yep.
George Halas,
Yes.
Don Shula,
Yep.
Jim Harbaugh, who you wanted as head coach for the Chicago
I want him
Bears.
for Bears. Yeah.
Tony Dungy. I don't want Tony Dungy for anything.
You know what?
Andy Reid.
Have a sandwich. Eat something. You're 100 pounds. My God.
That's
like a
hilarious.
skeleton out there.
Did you see Tony Dungy on Sunday Night Football yesterday?
Yeah.
They threw to him with his son, who was in a wheelchair. I don't remember how he got that injury, but Tony talked the whole time. He didn't put the mic in front of his son's face so he could say Merry Christmas or something.
No.
He was just like a prop.
Going to talk about a guy that landed on his feet. My God. Tony Dungy.
How about it?
Yeah. So Vince Lombardi's my argument there. Now, I got some tweets I want to read too, and Aldo will read some more times. One guy just said Pete Carroll, yes. Would you be against Pete Carroll for 3 years? 73,
yes.
74?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Okay.
But I understand your thinking, and it's sound
if you're
thinking.
going to bring somebody in for a short time, 3 years, to straighten out upstairs and downstairs. That's all I'm saying.
I'd like to give it more thought before saying yes or no.
All right. You always like that.
That's why it took me 9 years to ask Donna to marry me.
All right. Also today, Thomas Brown, Aldo. By the way, I'll tell you all about Barroom in a minute. But Aldo put up expertly the press conference today. We can't find it anywhere. It's on Barroom. And Thomas Brown just said a bunch of crap. I can't believe people wanted this guy to be head coach. Okay, and then here's this one.
Guilty as charged.
Julius Peppers and Eric Washington. And then I say on top, Eric Washington is one of the worst DCs in Bear history. They have no clue. As they're laughing, as this picture came up yesterday, that the Lions were laughing after that slippage fake play, laughing at our Chicago Bears, and that pissed me off.
Me too.
That pissed me off. And that guy should never be. We got the passing coordinator as a head coach, and this guy, a defensive coordinator, is just absolutely horrendous. It says here, Matt Urich. Eric Washington is overmatched as a defensive coordinator. This unit, which was going downhill already, has gotten worse under him. And then I say he's horrible, and the players like Jalen Big Mouth Johnson have quit on him. He, in particular, chooses not to play all out, and that's been for a couple weeks. They blamed everyone but themselves, and that's on the Chicago Bears. This was stuff there yesterday. And then we have a very special day for Aldo. Aldo Gandia. Is he slowing down? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. Is the man better than ever? I think so. I mean, we both wear the same garb. Okay. Yeah.
Meow. Meow.
Okay. Now, this was out of the 100 best Chicago podcasts. Okay.
Ooh.
Hogan Johns come in first place. Okay. Let me just say, I have never listened, but I heard it's good, and they've made quite a mark.
All right.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft. I'm sorry. I haven't listened to Amy or Dan at all. I don't know how they snuck in there, but they must have picked somebody up. Okay. I mean, they're not
Chicago way.
They're not there. Come in, please. Bernstein Rahimi. That's on Wednesdays, I think. Parkinson Spiegel. So here, what we're catching here is radio station podcasts from this
Yeah,
group.
right.
Okay. This is what makes the barroom special. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
The Chicago Audible came in 5th. Okay. It's a bear show. Good for them. 6th, again, best 670 of the score. Okay. So this is like 5 of the 6 all associated with major radio stations.
Right.
7th, independently owned, operated. Proud to own a small piece along with the majority owner. No, we're not the McCaskies. No. We win. I want to give you and the barroom folks and everybody that's done this, and I'm proud to have 2 shows on here. This show, and of course tonight. Okay, in honor of Ricky Henderson. I was on in Cleveland this morning at 6:20. I'll be on tonight at 7:30 with somebody big just died on Ricky Henderson with Joe Mandel. Make sure you all listen. We lost. There it is. And I'm proud to be on the 7th ranked podcast network in the country, in the city. Number 8, Chicago Bear Podcast. We beat the Bear Podcast, folks. You know why? We don't both. We don't both. Number 10, Waddle and Sylvie. God bless them. And you go on and on and on. Got some Madhouse Chicago Hockey Podcast 14. Okay. You got, I think that's with my buddy Joe Zawadzki, Cap and Jay Hood at 17. More radio stuff. Curious City, never heard them. They're 22nd. Inside the Clubhouse, The Score. You know, that's about like 7 or 8. That should be all clumped under one, in my opinion. Okay. And I'm sort of biased to both stations, The Score, since I started the goddamn place. And then
since you built the thing.
and AM 1000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got White Sox Weekly at 24, another ESPN product. And then at 39, you got The Odds Couple out of 100. I couldn't get the envelope with the money together in time. Okay. But I'm proud of this because we only do 1 hour a week. And we finished 39th. And we have a very high rating. And the barroom, 7th. God bless you, Aldo. Good job, buddy.
Thank you. And I would just like to say this about The Odds Couple, because I tune into it once in a while. I got a little time on Saturday morning. It's does a replay on Saturday. And I think it's ridiculous that whoever's in charge over there doesn't have The Odds Couple as a weekly, at least 4 or 5 days a week. People are gambling every day. Every day. Keep it fresh. Put Mike and Carmen, who are 2 of the best at this, so entertaining this show. And me, I'm
very proud of the show.
Yeah, I'm not a big time gambler, so I don't really keep track of if they give me the right, but they're making me laugh. They give me information. Yeah. It's great.
We had a lot of laughs. We had a lot of laughs, and I went 2-1 this week. And thank you, Aldo. It's a great show. We're very proud of it. I came over with the concept about 6 years ago, and I said to him, "Listen, you need a gambling show." And Adam Delvin went, "Excuse me." And then Jim Pastor, and we met him for dinner. It took 9 months to do it. A lot of red tape and stuff.
Yeah.
Some hard feelings at the time because I'd been the Antichrist against them for 30-some years. I love everybody over there. I love Eric Ostrowski. Carmen's one of the best. He wasn't there this week. Shane Norland stepped in. It's a great pod. Danny Zetterman. They've stuck by us through thick and thin. Do I wish the show was on a little more? Do I think the podcast, we could do more podcasts, but you know what? I'm happy with what's going on. To finish 39th, and I looked at the other 100, there's a lot of stations that we're ahead of. So we only do 1 hour a week. The barroom I'm proud of. I'm proud to be associated with 2 of the things that are on the top 50 because but I will have an envelope ready for those guys next year.
Love it. We're going to move on to the next section, which I believe, let me go. Let me see if I can find the roll-in. I believe we call it
Anything Goes.
Oh yeah, anything goes, ladies and gentlemen, and it's really about, and it's quickly done, so we can get out of here in a little bit of time. And I want to wish everybody at the bar room what a present today to be seventh all time. I mean, all around
And how about that? Yeah, and
it's a really good thing. And you hear the rumors about it being for sale and everything else. I say, it's not true. Don't worry about it. Aldo's not looking to sell the place.
no way.
Aldo's like the McCaskies. He's never sold. Unless the right. No, Aldo is selling.
Show me the money.
I mean, John Buffone, look at all the guys from the beginning, even the guys that left. Shay, and then you got Dr. Phil, all those guys from the beginning that were with you. A lot of guys left, a lot of guys, for whatever reason, there's still guys there. A lot of people, Dan Aguirre, I mean, all these people. I'm so that were there longer than I was, and Aldo's been there a long time, so I was very happy today. Now, let's get this over with. Chargers 34, Broncos 27. Herbert's a great quarterback. That's all I can say. Jimmy Harbaugh does it right. They got behind early, 21-13, end up winning that game. Texans lose to the Chiefs 27-19. I got the over. Chiefs this year at 11.5 wins, excuse me. They have their 13th win, 14th win, so I cashed in on that. The Ravens 34, Steelers 17. Like I said, I had the Ravens on the money line yesterday for the odds couple. The Steelers the last 2 weeks had the Eagles and the Ravens. They might meet in the Super Bowl, so they've had some tough games. Falcons 34, Giants 7. If you want to start your rookie quarterback, you don't start him like they did Caleb Williams at the first game of the season. You start him against the New York Giants, the worst team maybe in football, worse than the Chicago Bears, folks, if you can believe it, and the New York Jets, 34-7. The Bears lose 34-17. They were down 27-14 in the first half. Caleb Williams can be a hero in the second half. He's sort of like, if you don't do it in the first half, you can't be averaging 8 points in the first. You just can't do it, Caleb. And then he's playing great. No, he's playing half a game great.
That's right.
You got to play the whole game great. That's all you got to do, and we'll see what happens. But it's not been a good year. They had the best rushing, one of the top 3 rushing attacks in football last year, and they were a better team with Justin Fields. And who knows what they would have done with him this year with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and other people. And by the way, if you want to ask DJ Moore who we'd rather have as a quarterback, don't ask him this year. Okay? He broke records last year. Sort of like Allen Robinson did with Mitch, and then they moved people. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. How do you have a record with DJ Moore and then move the quarterback? You have a record with Allen Robinson 2 years in a row, 100 passes, and you move the quarterback. It boggles the imagination, but this is where we're at. Bengals 24, Browns 6. The Browns are cooked. I was on with Cleveland this morning. I said, you're the only guys I can talk down to. I mean, seriously. You're the only guys I can talk. And they didn't like when I told, because I think it might be their flagship station. I go, the Deshaun Watson contract's the dumbest contract in history. I was like, Mom, we got to go now. Anyway, then you have the Colts 38, the Titans 30. God, man. 68 points put up with these teams. Talk about no D. With those two quarterbacks. The Rams 19, the Jets 9. The Eagles and Commanders 36-3. Jaden Daniels. If this keeps up, in 2 years, we'll be hearing, we took the wrong guy. We took the wrong guy. I heard that 6 years. I'm like, BB said one night, we took the wrong guy. I woke up out of a deep sleep. Oh, God. All right. Panthers 36, Cardinals 30. Yeah. They got rid of Thomas Brown, and the kid became a better quarterback.
How about it?
How about that? Vikings 27, Seahawks 24. Vikings coach of the year has got to be him. Bills 24, Patriots 21. People that took -14 felt foolish, but what were you supposed to do? Raiders 19, Jaguars 14. That was a winner for me yesterday. And the Dolphins 29, the 49ers 17. And the Cowboys 26, a winner last night on the bar room. Not on the bar room, on the odds couple. I had a pretty good week with them, 28-24. So that's it.
You're doing so well with all this gambling stuff. I hope people are listening to your advice. They'll be
on the bar room. We're 17-12. We went 2-2 last week. I'm so stupid. Stupid. Remember when stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
Great scene.
I took the Bears.
Oh,
I was
no.
Lamada banging my head against the wall. Well, yesterday, I didn't take the Bears. I took the other way. And
Smart.
people are still taking the Bears, folks. People are still taking the Bears.
They
So,
need
yeah,
to stop that. They need
Stop
to stop.
it.
We got one more section.
Yeah.
This is where Mike gives us the pick for tonight's Monday night football game. It's the Saints and the Packers. The Green Bay minus 14, and the Saints Packers over under is 43 points. The money line is 1136 minus 1136 for Green Bay and plus 716 for the Saints.
So if you take the money line for $25,
Mm-hmm.
it's $300 almost that you'd lose for $25 because it's 1136.
Right.
Wow.
That's
what's wrong?
crazy.
Let me tell you how they got people coming and going. Now, in the old days, okay, they had the 10-cent line. I don't know how New Orleans, if you picked them to win the game, you'd only get $716. In the old days, it was a 10-cent line, you'd win 1,036. The casinos take more money now. You want to know why this credit card debt? How about giving people a 10-cent and 20-cent line instead of screwing them like you do every week? I mean, that's not good. I mean, they make a ton, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to. If I was betting this game tonight, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers minus 14 and the under 43.
There you go.
How many weeks we have left? I'm 17-12.
Two more.
Two more. You know what's bad about the 17-game schedule?
What is?
Back in the day when the Bears were 1-13,
Yeah.
I remember they were 1-12. I was shivering with my buddy. Well, at least the game's over. At least the season's over after tonight. You know, we got like the season never ends, and if you're shit, you got to live with it every week. You know,
Indeed. Keith says Packers will play with the viciousness witnesses in front of one of Brandon Johnson's illegal immigrant shelters.
I might have to run. I'm bringing back the Billy Club.
Mike North, Ramirez, Chicago.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's getting so bad they're setting people on fire in the subway. My God.
Jeez.
That's not good, right?
It's only going to get worse, too, unless you become mayor. So
if I become mayor, if you're caught, you're going to jail. You're caught stealing, okay? If you start any trouble downtown and you're doing wheelies, you're all going to jail. And then anybody who's your guardian is going to have to bail you out. We're not letting you go, okay? Number two, if you're illegal, okay, you might as well view me as the son of Tom Homan, okay? That's all. All right? My God.
Would you pull a Mayor Daley? Shoot to kill.
My God, they walk in and I'll go, you like this jacket? They go, yeah, bye. And then they walk out with it. Well, in 68, I'm here to tell you, our whole neighborhood was filled with cops and firemen. And they were coming home. Some of them hurt. And some of my buddies' dads were hurt. We were rooting for the cops. If you could watch the 68 convention, folks, and watch a beating of unsubstantiated proportions, one of the great beatdowns of all time, where they were actually throwing guys and missing the paddy wagon, just picking them up and throwing them and missing the paddy wagon, where they were taking guys. Watch the 68 convention and then watch when Daley gets in Dan Rather's face, you know, because Daley was the king. I don't care. Kennedy's going in. This broad's going to talk. Daley goes, listen, quit messing around, will you please? I mean, Daley was the power. They should do a movie on him.
Yeah, the real boss.
The real
that
boss.
guy was the boss.
That guy was giving Huey Long.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what was a special day for me? A big day was when John Wayne and Mayor Daley gave John Wayne the key to the city. It don't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I go, Jesus Christ.
I forgot about that.
Now we got a guy going. Now we got Jussie Smollett as our guy. What are we going to do? And Al Capone. I'm running. Hell with it. Aldo, do we need petitions?
We need everything that we can get. Absolutely.
If whoever runs the Republican's going to win.
Yeah.
Watch out for one of the Democratic guys going. We might have to do a political show next after the Bear season.
Bring it on. Let's talk politics. But that's the end of this episode of the Mike
Can you
Knows
imagine that
Advantage.
show would last 3 weeks?
Mike, remind people. Yeah, the 3 week stops.
It's been canceled because they're at each other's throat.
Can you remind people what the bet is for tonight? It's
Green Bay in the under, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, the
And
under.
then you'll have
43
enough
points.
money. Hopefully, you have enough money to go to Rahl Jewelers.
There you go. They are the very best. Let me put up their address here once again. Rahl Jewelers at 3001 in Barrington Road, Hoffman Estates. You can give them a call and set up an appointment to talk to someone, 847-765-3000. And also check out their website, raljewelers.com. That's it for our episode. Mike, you're the absolute best.
You too, buddy. We had fun. And tonight we got, of course, somebody big just died at 7:30 with Joe Mandel right here on the 7th ranked podcast network. Well, really, if you look at it, it's about the 3rd ranked podcast network in the city of Chicago.
There you go.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
All right, buddy.